What you're seeing here is a screenie. Screenie is a tribute to Andy Warhol. It's our smallest sand picture we're making, but yeah, it's got the same beauty and the same magic like the other ones. Tribute to Andy Warhol. It looks like a 1970s TV screen by the shape. It's got all those poppy colors, and as Andy Warhol stated, art should be available and accessible. Available, it is not too expensive. Almost everybody can afford this. And accessible in terms of everybody can understand what's happening here. It is as easy as can be. You just lift it off the base, turn it upside down, and the sand starts moving. Creating sand, dunes, mountains, valleys, whatever you like to imagine. So next step up is a little bit more design to anybody's home, made with a wooden frame here in different colors. Wooden frame looking like the mahogany wood or black colored wood, the natural wood there. That's called the horizon. It's an imagination of how can you imagine any horizon in this world, which is moving, changing, while you walk through the world. Next one, if you look at this one, this is a really special series. If you look at that frame, it's called Magma. Can you see that clearly? It looks like when the earth is opening and the blood of the earth is coming out. Therefore, for this sand picture, I used only black, white, and red to capture that idea. The idea of volcanoes, magma. It's just the power of the earth, red and black. Imagine you're walking through a desert landscape, and you have those soft, tainted colors, and the sand dunes moving constantly, like just nature they are doing. They're moving and going from A to B to C, and you never know where they end up. This one here is the lantern. So I put 4 of sand pictures and made this cube. So if you put a candlelight or one of those LED bases underneath that, you create a fantastic romantic candlelight dinner. That's what you can do, and it's constantly moving. So once you're at the dinner and you run out of what to talk about, you can start talking about this. Oh, look at that. Look at how that landscape is walking and growing there. That's nice stuff. That's part of the fun. It's ever changing. It's taking people into conversation. You never get bored. This series here is called The Window. Just imagine sitting at home, cold winter day, looking out of the window. Yeah, here in Australia you might not have that many chances, but looking out and see the snow moving down, and you know, it's the same relaxation. If you look out to the snowfall, or if you look at the sand picture, you just get relaxed. This one comes very stylish in a dark brown walnut wood, or here with the black frame, or here with the natural frame. A piece like this, everybody can say, oh wow, look at that. That's a nice designer piece. I would like to take that on my desk and use it every day for daily relaxation and for soothing. This one here is called the deep sea. Imagine you're in a submarine or somewhere on a boat on the ocean, and you're looking through the porthole. That was that imagination which I put into this sand picture. This one here is called the ballerina. It's a numbered edition which is coming with a certificate. The ballerina has got such a nice, beautiful proportions, and the sand blend, it's It's just one of my loves. When I made this, it's quite unusual. I've seen that, and I got one back for me. So number one is in my hands. Usually I sell my stuff. I make it for the people who love it. But this one, I said, it's so adorable. I want to keep one back, which is number one. You see here at the stand, you always have my signature, the signature of the artist, also the numbering. Go one step up, we are at the Black Beauty. It is a black frame and it is beauty. There's a lot of gold glitter in it. It takes like 5 or 6 hours for one run to create a beautiful landscape. This one here is my impression of scuba diving. You can see the bluish water of the ocean. You can see the multicolor sand plant here, which reminds of corals. Actually, this sand plant is the most compact sand plant I've ever made. It contains 7 different grains, which is the absolute maximum you can make. Usually we are using between 4, 5, or at least 6 sand plants, but this one, because I wanted to make that multicolors of the corals, I tried to do the best. I did. So I put all my impressions of scuba diving into this sand art. Look one step up to this designer lamp. People are always looking very curious at that. What happens here? It's just the same. It's 2 glass tubes between which you get the sand, the water, the air, same thing going on. And the lamp here, and built into the base. You just flip it over and let it create. The design itself, it's called sputnik. So it's like a rocket. The diamond is one of the very special designs. This could be the signature piece on the president's desk of a company. Really outstanding. It's one of the things where you enter an office and as a guest, and you look at this and see, wow, what is going on there? Sometimes you won't even recognize what happens, but after a while you see, is that moving? Like I have a friend in the United States, and he told me the story. They were sitting and having a couple of beers, and after like 1 hour, the one friend said to the other one, "Oh, George, I think I have to go because your picture on the wall there, it's moving." So that's what happens with the Sandpictures. Another one beautiful designer piece is this one called the Tuareg. Tuareg is a folk of nomads in the northern Sahara. And just can you imagine here a caravan of camels with those Tuaregs walking through that landscape. I put this into a framing of walnut, which is that dark and, that kind of very conservative thing with the walnut wood. Because if you know about the Tuaregs, it is an extremely conservative folk which has been around in the deserts for hundreds and hundreds of years. They don't change their mind, they just go in their way. And the desert is at least, and the sands of the deserts at least, are dedicating their life to be quiet, slowly, and very comfortable. So I hope a sand picture can do the same to your life. I call this Krakatoa, the name of the blasted volcano back in, 1886. And again, it's one of my impressions, it's geology, what happens here. You see those layers? What on Earth takes like 1 million of years, or with a volcano like a couple of decades, we can capture that in a sand picture within 2 or 3 hours. So again, one of the volcano themes built into a sand picture, the impression of the blood of the earth, the red and black and white sands only. And look at those. Those could be volcanoes here. And you see the sand going down, but you can also have the impression like the sand going down here is the smoke that's coming up from the volcano. So that one is Krakatoa. This one is called the sunset. It's a very soft painted combination of the background and the sand colors. You might not know it here, but Lake Constance is one of the beautiful lakes between Germany, Austria and Switzerland. That's where I live actually. And I captured this photo and thought, okay, that's such a beautiful photo of a sunset. Let me put that into a sand picture. So that's a very natural looking blend and very natural looking sand art in the end. This one here is called Stone Age. The sand blends and all together is very, I would say, stony, natural, very soft again. And also here you can see the light brown sands here are sands of the deserts in Dubai and Arabia. And this one is one of my masterpieces. Usually, now we ended at the point where the game starts. Usually I create masterpieces like that, real huge things where I work hours and hours, sometimes weeks, to create a beautiful sand picture. Then I'm standing by myself, standing here, and people are standing by them and say, oh wow, that's a great sand picture. Could you make this in a fairly smaller size? And that's where we start to make the smaller sizes. Then we cut down to a regular size, which is then affordable for almost everybody. The question always is going to the point, okay, how big can you make your sand arts? Mainly when it's going into a hotel lobby, into a spa resort or a lobby of a bigger company, people are asking, how big can you do this? And mostly it is interior designers or architects who are asking that. So I started thinking about how can I incorporate a sand picture into the structure of a building or into a big house, into a villa. And that's how we are doing this. This one is built into a recess, very stylish, with the lights from the background. We got the LED lights, we got that watercolor feature here. And the bigger it is, the more impression you got. And people could stand here and stand just watching it for hours and hours. And that's what we are making it for. Wherever people have to stand and wait, just an example at the hotel lobby, you won't even recognize you've been waiting for 10 or 15 minutes. You haven't wasted the time. You won the time. You won the time of serenity, of calming down, of soothing. And that's a win-win time in your life. Or going back to what I said, spa resorts, wherever people want to be relaxed, looking at the sand picture is so relaxing, so soothing. You can have this. Here we got another line. I call this line the movies, because it's constantly moving. Those are wall attached pictures. as they are wall attached, they need something in the background, or you could say the other way around. I thought about what kind of enhancement could you make to a sand picture. Like, look at this space, sceneries here. So you get the background of a planet, and you cannot see it right now, but once the sand has moved down, you will see it. You're standing on a planet here, somewhere out in the universe, and look into that scenery which you've never seen before. That's quantum physics, by the way. Or here, look at that. That's what the guys captured when they've been at the moon a couple of years ago. That actually was what was it? First date at the moon? Was that my birthday? I don't know, something like that. Or here, we put in the Corona total eclipse. It was back in 1998 when we had a total eclipse over Europe, which is not quite common. You get that chance like every 100 years. And we went to see that, and it was so fascinating that I said, okay, I want to build this into a sand picture. So I got this photo, which was made one of those Corona nerds who travel like once or twice a year to Africa or to South America. By the way, this photo is taken in Aruba in 1991. It's the most beautiful I've seen online. And I asked the photographer, would you give me that photo for using it in a sand picture? He said, yes, okay, so we agreed. And so I built the sand blend and the frame, everything around that one picture, that one imagination which I had back in 1998. Or look at this one, the Aurora Borealis. For you here in Australia, we should call it Aurora Australis because you get southern lights. We in Europe we got the northern lights, but it's a beautiful picture of a northern light display, and I tried to capture those colors here, the bluish, greenish, the dark blue colors in the sand blend and on the frame. So that's how I'm doing my blends, trying to match together to make something, to make a harmony at least. Or going down to this one, here I also can show how this is attached. There is a bracket here pre-attached on the sand picture. There is that one bracket going to the wall, and you just nest it in. You never have to take it off the wall. You just can swivel it around. But going back to this is another one impression of being out in the desert. This sand blend, an example, contains sands from the deserts in Dubai. This one looks so simple, but this one has been, one morning I awoke and I've seen that rose and light blue colors in the sky, which you see like every couple of weeks. You might have the chance to see those colors, which remain for only about 5 minutes in the morning. Then the rose will turn into orange and the blue will fade away. So it took me almost 2 years to get everything according to my imagination, according to what I have seen at that point. So I've been chasing sunrises to get a photo in the background, but in the end I said, oh no, I don't need it. Let me capture those colors just in the sand blend. That's what I did here. These 3 sand pictures are called the Barbie family. You might ask, why the Barbie family? Okay, look at it. Obvious. This is Barbie, this one is Ken, and I added Barbette, a new character to the family. This came very funny. The study of this was CMYK, the printing colors. Cyan, the blue, M, magenta, Y, yellow, and K, key, the black. So I made this and I told my wife asked, what is the name of that? And I said CMYK. She went, what? I said, CMYK. What is that? But she pointed at that one and said, oh look, that looks like a Barbie. I said, great name. I will call this the Barbie family. It's one of our designer pieces. It's a limited edition, 99 pieces worldwide. We're only making of that. It comes either in black or in white framing.
Welcome to Sydney, Klaus, or should I say Sandman? Why are you called the Sandman?
I'm called the Sandman because I'm producing those interactive, magic, beautiful sand arts, the moving sand arts so-called.
Could you explain that a bit more? What do you mean by a moving sand art?
Oh, if you don't see it here right now, it's a little bit difficult to explain, but to get an idea of what it is a device of two sheets of glass. In between you find sand, water and air. And all those particles are moving freely. One thing you have to do, you have to flip it over and then sand starts rolling down and creating landscapes, mountains, dunes, valleys, whatever you like to imagine.
It sounds a bit like an hourglass. Is that some of the idea?
Oh yes, talking about an hourglass, that could get you a little bit closer to the idea of what I'm doing.
So when you started, were you planning on just making one or two, or did you really have in mind this multi-decade development that you've embarked on?
Oh, one or two would be a little bit too less, but in the beginning I thought about doing this, oh that's fun, doing this for 1 or 2 seasons and then find something else where I can get fun. And you know what happened, I fell in love and I started doing it and it started getting bigger and more and more and more. And so I got to be the sand artist.
The sand artist, yes. And where are these products made? Where are you doing all this work?
I'm living in Austria and that's where I'm having my studio and making all those sand arts together with 6 persons at present working with us. It's my wife, my son and a couple of other people are all sand artists somehow.
And this is true art, is it?
I consider it being art at one stage, at the point where I'm the designer doing all the basic designs or the huge installations and that kind of stuff. And it's considered being pop art. It is very simple to capture, it's very simple to get into it, and it's accessible and available for the people and affordable at least.
Okay, perhaps many people remember seeing Sandpictures before in the early 80s or late 80s. How does your products compare to that?
What you're telling about is, there was one of those Sandpictures I've seen at that time, that was the raw idea of a Sandpicture. But I haven't seen that. In my mind, of course, suddenly the idea arose that this could be done much better, much more beautiful and multicolor, and that's what I did. So compared to what you could see at that time, there was a sand picture including like black and white sand only, maybe colored water, while nowadays I'm making complex sand plants of 4, 5 or even 6 different kind of grains in one sand plant.
And do you have any future developments that you're going to work on? Take it even further?
Oh sure, there are. Number one, in the field of the sand picture itself and the sand art, I'm having plans going way deeper into the art and design, architectural designs, but also some new products about which I cannot talk right now, that's still under secret, are in development and are in process. So you have to be curious what's coming up next.
Yes. More about the sand pictures themselves. Do they require electricity or batteries to work?
Oh no, that's a beautiful thing. They don't make noise, they don't require batteries. It's all just gravity, it's all just natural forces. That's it.
Okay. So this sand, what sort of sand do you use? Where do you get the sand from?
I'm using, that's a fairly good question. I could say, okay, this is secret, but generally said, I'm using different kind of very fine minerals, very fine grained minerals. I'm using natural sands from some deserts around the world. I'm using glitter flakes or color powders, and all that combined together makes our sand plants.
Okay, and the different colors, do they all mix together eventually?
No, never, because each one color you can see in the sand plant has got a different density. So you get heavy sand, light sand. That's why they always sort and get lined up.
So, a very important question. Where can people buy the sand pictures in Australia?
Oh, there are a lot of opportunities where you can buy it. Of course, first of all, our worldwide shop on the internet. Of course, we got some TV shopping clips going on, and we got set up some retailers who are selling our stuff. So reach out, find them, you will find them, you will love them.
Thank you very much, Klaus. It's been great to have you here.
Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you, Patrick.
Excellent.
Hello, my name is Klaus Bösch. I'm the Sandman. I'm really glad to be here in Australia, in Sydney, to introduce my sand arts. People are asking me the big why I'm making my sand arts. Actually, this is a kind of mission, bringing some peace and some calm to the people. It is when I'm exhibiting or showing some of my sand arts somewhere, I can see those bright smiles. People are walking by pretty stressed because of the daily movements, and my daily movements make them a big smile into their face, and you can see them relaxed within a few seconds. That's the big why, that's the answer for that.
And finally, do you have any special messages for our TVSN audience?
Yes, it's great to be here in Australia. You're great, tough guys. And I've seen that Australian people love the sand pictures. So just go on, grab one and have the fun with it. Get happy.